Welcome to Conversations with Laurel, everyone. I am your host, Laurel McHargue, and today I have an extra special guest. Her name is Chloe Crabb with two B's. Chloe, hello.
Hi.
Happy Halloween Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's October 31st. I'm wearing my Halloween skeleton, but we'll keep the scary part down
Yeah.
below the viewing so we don't scare too many people because people are going to be watching this video for a long time. Chloe,
Yes.
who are you?
Well, I'm Chloe. I am a writer, as so. I am in middle school. I find myself to be a very big activist and public speaker. Um, and yeah,
You are in eighth grade?
yes.
So does that make you 13? You 13 yet?
Yeah,
You're
13.
you're a 13-year-old activist. Now, I will let my listeners and viewers out there know that I found out about you from one of your past language arts teacher, Mr.
Yes.
Lamond. Yeah. And he sent me a couple of your poems the other day and blew me away. I had goosebumps when
Yeah.
I read those poems. And you're going to share one with me today.
Yes.
But first of all, I understand that you have had some, I would say, significant physical challenges your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to
So,
share those with our listeners
yeah.
before they hear your poem, and maybe it will help that?
Yeah. So I've grown up with a condition called spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA, which is basically like a neurological disorder that affects how my muscles move and how they function. Um, and I've gone through surgeries and procedures for that. And I'm trying to work on walking, but I think it's definitely I've became a perfectionist and this like expectation that I have to have uphold with it, which I think kind of goes into my poem. So
So
yeah,
you talk about surgeries. Is this something you were born with?
yes, it's genetic. Um, Basically like passed down. My parents have like this half gene thing,
Yeah.
and it creates a 25% chance that their kid would have a
Mm,
like the full gene, which
right.
got the full gene. Um, and they didn't actually have any treatments when I first got diagnosed. So I had to go through clinical studies.
Wow. Where were these studies?
Denver at Children's.
Okay. All right. So you
Yeah.
mentioned surgeries. How many surgeries have you gone through?
Um, I've had big surgeries, technically like two. One for a spinal fusion with about 100-degree curve. Um, yeah. And then the other was to release my hip tendons because they were so tight. And so we wanted to like see if that would help, which it's gotten super beneficial. And then I've had knee surgery. I fractured my knee and it was a whole thing. And then I've had several procedures for a treatment that I get, where basically they just go into my spine and give me the treatment and then that's it. But yeah.
Mess around with your spine.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So you're a poet and a an activist. I heard
Yes.
something about a playground project. Now you're still in
Yes.
middle school. So tell us about that.
Basically, I was feeling like kind of left out and like my physical disability was like limiting me from being with friends and like just hanging out at recess and actually having like a good time. So I was like, I should go to the school board and make this more inclusive, you know? And then I was also like thinking more towards the future of our middle school, if there's going to be more disabled students, you know? So then they can also feel included and it's not just a cause for me.
Right. So what did you do? I mean, I understand. So
Yeah.
you're
So,
you're wheelchair bound, yes? Right?
yes,
So far, so far.
currently, yeah.
Okay.
um basically we got like rubber put in, like, and it's like flat, so like tennis court surfaces.
Yes.
So it's like that, but it's softer. And then we got
Okay.
like inclusive playground equipment put on there. And
Okay.
like that was really it.
All right. And are there other students at your middle school right
Um,
now?
not
Who?
well, yes, I have one friend who is on crutches and sometimes she needs a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think there are two girls at the elementary school who I think have cerebral palsy. So,
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
it's going to do a lot of good for years to come. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Was it difficult to get up and
Um,
talk to
it
the
took a
school board
couple of
every
years.
a couple
I
years?
mean, yeah, well, I mean, for it to get put in, I think I talked to them like 2 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
And they got it put in this summer, right before school started.
All
Um,
right.
and then speaking to them, it was definitely like I was like shaking afterwards because I was like, oh my God, did I get my point through? Did I have to make like another point? Did I say this right? And then they loved it. I mean, they got it like they decided on it the next day, which was definitely like beneficial. And like I was like very proud of myself for that.
Well, you should have been. You were 11 at the time, right?
Yeah.
An 11-year-old talking to a school board about a major financial change to the school.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. So, when did you know that you could move people with words?
I
Well, I mean,
think
obviously you did for this middle school playground project, but uh, yeah, when did you know that you were a good writer, an awesome writer?
I think ooh, that's a tricky question. I think I started to know when I was actually in Mr. Lamont's class. And I think maybe a little bit before that, but basically we used to like live in this town that was like not challenging at all, like especially the school. Um, so I think I was like very bored, and so I would just start writing. And I think that poetry like helped with that because not only was I like just writing down my feelings, but I was making it like into like almost a piece of art, you know? Um, and then we had a whole poetry unit in Mr. Lamont's class, and I think that just really brought it out more. Is like we were focusing on it. So then I was like, oh, like I have recognition in this. So did poetry and then I read it and he was like, this is amazing. Like, and I've kind of just been doing it ever since.
This is amazing, and it's taken him 2 years to send me some of your stuff. Wow. Um, would you like to share one poem now?
Yes, I can do that.
All right.
Okay, so this is my poem. It's called How the Ground Listens. Um, okay. I was
How the ground listens.
yes. Um, I was born into a world that measured strength by how straight a spine stands, by how far our legs can carry a dream. Mine never bent that way. So I learned to carry my fire in other places. Lungs that argue with the sky, hands that refuse to drop the weight, even when the weight is history itself. Perfection is a cruel tutor. It drills you twice as hard and then whispers still not enough. I sharpened myself anyway, 10 times harder, 10 times faster. As if excellence could rewrite the way eyes pause too long on wheels, on difference, on the space I take up. My history is not a scar, it's a library. Every chapter has a spine cracked open, every sentence underlined in bone. I've had to memorize resilience, like scripture, chanting it until even my silence is laced with fight. The world sees disability and calls it limitation. I see I see it and call it rebellion. Proof that beauty can be unfinished, that power can sit down and still rise, that perfection was never the point. I'm not flawless, I'm forged. And when I move, slow and deliberate, the ground still listens because it knows I have wrestled with gravity longer than most people have known their own names.
Once again, did you write that this year?
Yes, I
All
think I
right.
wrote it in August.
All right. You A plus plus from a former
Yeah.
language arts teacher. Your use of I have goosebumps. I'm
Yeah.
rubbing my arms right now. Your use of your physical challenges, spines and curves and bones, and you've got all that figurative language in there that just makes the poem sing.
Yeah.
Wow. How long did it take you to write this?
Um, it took me a couple days. I was definitely like I had like ideas about it, so it was like not as like it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to take to write it, but it was definitely like a while because then I was like, did I write this wording like correct? Like is this going to fit well enough to like really make the poem like pop, you know?
Like get an emotion from a reader, from a
Yeah.
listener.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It did that. It absolutely did that. Chloe, what is your, what are your goals with your writing?
Um, to like spread a message that I think strength doesn't isn't the same. Like kind of how I conveyed in that poem. Like you can, like I said, you can still sit down and rise and you can have a limitation and still have strength, you know? And I think that needs to be a message that's spread as like um a world that doesn't always see you and see that strength should, you know? Like I'm sorry, I'm like trying to figure that like how to say that, but you
Oh,
know, like sort of in that sense.
so when you meet people and you're in a
Mhm.
wheelchair, how do they respond to you typically, initially?
Um, initially, I mean, it's kind of dependent on the person. I've definitely met people who have been like staring at the wheelchair and more focused on the wheelchair than they haven't been like on me and like actually like being in a conversation with me than like being like, oh, there's a wheelchair, like, you know. Um, and so generally I try and like be like, hey, like I'm not my wheelchair, you know? Like it's not my wheelchair is not me, I'm not my wheelchair. It's like an add-on, you know? Like
Yeah, yeah.
so I think that's definitely the thing is to see past it and like look at more of the person.
You're trying to make other people feel comfortable around you.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that's an extra challenge that you have, right?
Yeah.
That most people don't.
Yeah.
Has it affected, has your physical condition affected friendships?
Um I would say so. I mean, I think especially keeping up with like my body can affect how my friendships work. Because, like, not only am I trying to keep up with myself, I'm also keeping up with, like, oh, we're going to go do this today. I don't know how I feel about that today. You know, like, I'm tired. Like, what am I supposed to do here? You know? And I think it's also like with the whole thing of being at recess, there's my friends who want to play like basketball or foursquare, and I can't do that because it's just tricky for me, you know?
Hmm, hmm.
And I think sometimes they don't understand that. And it's like they want to, but they just can't. And it's like definitely makes it tricky. And um even like I get infusions every month for my condition. So being like, oh yeah, I'm going to Denver to get this. And they're like, what are you getting that for again? And I'm like, I just explained it
Really?
to you.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, how do you feel after the infusions? What
Um,
they do?
generally pretty good. I mean, I've gotten used to them. I've been doing those infusions for about 4 years now, maybe.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, it's definitely helped. It's just still like that interesting almost line that's crossed between able-bodied friends and then me. So
So
yeah.
you have a goal in addition to finding publishers out there. Hello, publishers out there. And I'm gonna try to get you someone because I know you have more poems and you're gonna share them in future episodes with me
Yeah.
because we're gonna get these out into the world. But your goal to walk.
Yes, which
What?
I have been working on,
Tell
but
how? Well, how do you work on that?
so physical therapy is one of them. We've been working, do you know like the little like TENS pads that like kind of
Yes,
like,
stimulate
yeah.
nerves
So I've been
or
doing
muscles.
that on like a reformer like sort of machine thing, which has helped. And then like on a like bike. Um, and then a similar thing is just getting those surgeries um to improve like function of my muscles or improve the way I can move them, you know? Um, so that's definitely a challenge, but I mean, I'm getting there and it's just a matter of like consistency and like pushing myself, but like not like making myself like too burnout not to do it.
All right. Are you in any kind of studies?
Yes, I currently with the infusion I'm in, that's a clinical study.
Okay.
Um, so I mean that's been like I said, it's been going pretty well. I know when I was first on it, that's originally kind of what led up to getting spinal surgery. We didn't know at the time if I was like on it or not. But we think I was like slightly on it because they had like a high dose, low dose, and then placebo sort of
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
And we think I was on a low dose because it was like December 2022. My back was at a 30-degree angle. And then it was that July it jumped up to 80. And then it was like November when I was getting surgery, it was like almost to 100. So that was definitely like signified like maybe that skeletal, I did not say that right.
Yep.
Like, yeah,
Skeleton. Yeah.
yeah, muscle was like pulling on my back and like making the curve more significant, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How how will your life change when you're able to walk?
Um, access. I mean, I think I'm still gonna have like occur like, oh my God. I think I'm gonna still like encounter accessibility issues just because in my in childhood and like being a teen, I think I'm gonna be more aware of like our future generations. So then I'm gonna be like, if I'm walking, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I need to speak up and fix this because now I have that full ability to, you know? And like, I think also the fact of like getting taken seriously sometimes is
Mm.
like, that's a big part of being disabled. And I think why I hold myself up to this expectation to always be perfect is that like, if I don't hit that, then I'm not going to be taken seriously.
Oh, oh, Chloe, Chloe, Chloe. Oh, I never even thought of something like that, not being taken seriously
Yeah.
because of a physical condition.
Yeah.
Wow. You're going to continue being an advocate, yes?
Yes.
So next year, you're in eighth grade. Next year you go up to the high school?
Yes.
All right. And are they ready for you?
Hopefully. I mean, hopefully they hear from my teachers and stuff and be like, oh, she's definitely gonna speak and be like upfront.
She's going to challenge us, and I think that's incredible. And
Yeah.
you're an amazing young woman. Chloe,
Yeah.
this is Halloween is tonight,
Yes.
a night of scary things. What's the scariest thing you've ever
Scariest
experienced?
thing I've ever.
And that maybe that's a hard one, but
I think spinal surgery.
mhm.
I mean, I was genuinely kind of scared that I wasn't gonna make a full recovery. And it was also like leading up to it, like I was having a hard time breathing, just because I was like so bent over and then I didn't have an appetite. So I was like never hungry. And like it was just like it was definitely kind of scary, like before it and after it. I mean, because like I got an appetite back, but it was just like I felt insecure, which I think added on to the scariness of it, was like I wasn't being my authentic sort of self. And that really made me like go into this like, what if I don't make a full recovery? What if there is something bad that happens with this and I don't get through it, you know? Um, and just that sort of feeling of like not having perseverance.
How old were you then?
Uh, 10,
So,
maybe?
okay, a few years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
And since then, you obviously are resilient and
Yeah.
you are a recoverer.
Yes.
I can imagine though that each surgery must still be scary.
Yeah. I mean, it's even that unknown of like surgeons maybe not doing that surgery on someone with my disease or like similar issues, you know? I mean, it was even like hip surgery. That doctor was afraid to do the surgery on me because he had never worked with like a patient like me before
Oh,
or
wow.
like done it for the same cause, you know?
Yeah.
Um, he it was that surgeon was not my favorite. But he was like, I've only done this surgery on floppy babies, which is another term for kids with SMA,
Wow.
to remove pain. So I was just playing like, oh, that's not my
Thanks for
favorite.
yeah, thanks for telling me that
Thanks for
ahead of
giving me
time.
this lovely
Confidence in
feeling
you.
of you've never done it on a body like me before, but
No names. We're not
yeah.
gonna name names, but he obviously did a good job, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
No, he did a good job. It was just like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, something new. Wow. Chloe, what's your support group like?
my support group. I mean, obviously it's made up of my parents. Um, they've kind of just like been there as an emotional like support, sort of, you know. Um, I have some friends who understand me and like try to understand me, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and get me through it. And then my boyfriend, who also has SMA, which is like amazing. Like, and he's on that same drug trial. So that's like really nice. Because I can just be like, are you experiencing this with like
Yeah.
this infusion too? Or is it
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
that sort of thing? And then I have one friend who I met at a summer camp who also has SMA, and she's 3 years, or wait, yeah, 3 years older than me. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like nice where she can act as like a big sister in a sense, you know? And she's on that same exact drug trial. So it's like really like that's kind of my support group. And then definitely some of my mentors, like my teachers, Mr. Almond with my poetry, because I've like gone to him and he's like been my favorite teacher so far.
Mine
Like,
too. Mine too.
yeah. I wish I could have him again as like a language arts teacher. Like it's just like um yeah, and then I've been friends with a anesthesiologist that I've had since I was 2.
Wow.
So yeah, and he did my spinal surgery. And he was originally supposed to be in a conference that day, but then he was like, I can't, I'm not gonna do that. Like, and he like walked in and he was like, I'm doing anesthesia. Like, that's yeah. So he's like definitely a big like support because he's kind of been like a cheerleader in a
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I am pleased that you have a great support group.
Yeah.
Chloe Crabb with two B's.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your life, some of your life, and a poem that still gives me goosebumps.
Thank you.
I am going to have some links to publishers who publish young authors
Mhm.
below. And will you come back and share more poems
Yes.
and more? And all right, Um, Thank you again for sharing this.
Yes.
Listeners out there, I'll have links to SMA information and some other things. And I'm going to do a little bit of research for you
Yeah.
and with you. And
Yes.
I look forward to our future meetings. And listeners out there, like and subscribe to my channel. And
Yeah.
we're going to get you published, girl.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, you have a happy Halloween tonight and a happy
You as
rest of the year.
well.
And we'll I'll set up your next poetry sharing experience
Yeah.
soon.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Chloe. You're
Yes, of
incredible.
course. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.